Yep. Good morning. Let's start the session. Yesterday we learned about working with so JavaScript related output and input techniques. We learned about various input methods. What are the various input techniques? So input methods you can input by using query string. We can input using query string. So how query string is collected? How query string is defined? Query string is defined using question mark and a reference name and equal to value. How the query string is accessed? So by using location dot search. So by using location search, you can access the query string, right? Next, another technique we learned by using prompt. But what is the issue with prompt? Prompt will not allow to handle complex input. It is only plain text input. Only plain text input you can manage by using prompt. We can use form input elements. We can use form input elements. Form input elements, you can design a form and you can handle input using the form. So form input elements like you can use text box, you can use number, you can use checkbox, you can use radio. So you can use a drop down. So you can use list box, etc. All these can be used. Password, number input, date input, lot of things. So yesterday I showed you one example of how input is handled by using a general text box. We learned three techniques. Query string I showed, prompt also. Another one is what are the result of a prompt? What is the result of a prompt? What a prompt returns? Prompt returns a string or null. Prompt returns a string or null. That string can be empty string or it can have some value also, right? It can return string and null, right? So form input elements, actually another point you should know is every form input element is going to return, it is going to return a string only. Every form element will return a string. Drop down, list box, even you enter a number, by default their values are string. You need to convert them if you want to do any manipulations. manipulation. So every return value of form element is a string. Even through a input type date or number, you input anything, it will be treated as a string. So that is one important thing you need to know. So yesterday I showed one example of working with general text box. Today we will see one more example how different form elements work. So today I will show you one example. In this example, to make the presentations effective, to make the presentations effective and interactive, what we will do is we will use Bootstrap also. I hope you already learned HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. So we can use Bootstrap. We can use Bootstrap, and by using Bootstrap, we can make the presentation more effective. Right? We will see how we can manage this Bootstrap and we can create our own options. Right? Can you close this? Hello. So we will see one more option here. As I already told you, generally we already know that while working with JavaScript based environment, client side especially, we have to make the interface more effective. And to make the interface more effective, we have to use HTML with combination of CSS and Bootstrap. So we will see one simple example how we can use this and create a simple input example, right? So for that, what you have to do is, first point is you need to install Bootstrap for your project. You have to install Bootstrap for your project. Let's go to our project. And in this project location, I need to set up the Bootstrap. I will do that. Yeah. So what we will do here is, let's open here. You can see already we set up this environment. All our files and folders, we set up this project environment. Now you need to install any library. If you want to install any library, you can open the terminal. This is the terminal. And in the terminal, you can install the library Bootstrap, npm install. You can install Bootstrap and save. And npm install. So you need Bootstrap icons also present. You can save them. In this session, I am not teaching you any Bootstrap because we are just going to use it, because that already people have to learn with HTML and CSS. So here we will use Bootstrap to create good presentation along with our JavaScript. Okay. So you need to install Bootstrap and Bootstrap icons. And one more, you need to set up, you need to install jQuery also. Because a lot of Bootstrap related functionality depends on jQuery. Complete Bootstrap functionality is designed in jQuery. That is the reason you have to set up jQuery also. So first install all these three libraries in your project. If you install, then you can create good presentations. So let's create these. npm install, one is Bootstrap, and save. I am downloading and installing Bootstrap library. Actually, if you want, you can visit the official website, take the CDN links, and you can copy them. But for that, you need to connect with the internet every time, because CDN comes from server. Keep the library offline so that it is easy to practice any kind of example, right? Another one, Bootstrap. What? Bootstrap icons I am installing. These are Bootstrap icons I am installing. And one more is I will set up jQuery also. So npm install what? jQuery. jQuery. Okay. These are the libraries you need to set up. And once you install that, generally what happens? All the library files are kept in node modules. Node modules is the folder where all these library files are copied. I hope you already learned in HTML Bootstrap what are the files required for Bootstrap. Generally, what are the files for Bootstrap required? In the node modules, you will have Bootstrap. In Bootstrap, you will find a folder called dist. In the dist folder, you will find CSS. In that, you will have a file called bootstrap.css. That is the file you have to link in order to use Bootstrap. And for Bootstrap icons, you have Bootstrap icons in that font, in that Bootstrap icons.css. These two CSS files are required for using Bootstrap. And if you want to use Bootstrap components perfectly, then you need to get jQuery. In that jQuery dist, so in that jQuery.js. Another one is you need Bootstrap. In that dist, in that JS, you need Bootstrap bundle. Bootstrap bundle.js. Bootstrap bundle.js is required. Actually, one more file is required, but that is not required for every purpose. Especially if you are working with some 1-2 components only. In Bootstrap, 1-2 components are there, like scroller, spy, tooltips. Those components need another file called, so that is popper.js. It needs a popper.js file. So these are the files we have to set up and install. Popper.js is there. You see in node modules, you will find in the node modules, you have Bootstrap and Bootstrap icons. In the Bootstrap, you will find JS. In that dist, you will find all these files. Bootstrap, I will give dist JS, and you can see different types of files are there. So generally what happens in this, you need to set up the Bootstrap bundle files, right? In dist JS, you can see there is a bundle here. Bootstrap bundle is required. Popper is not required every time. Popper is required only 1-2 components. You need that, right? So this Bootstrap bundle is enough. You have to set up all this. Once you create a project and you put all these inside it, now let's see how it works. So what are the options you need to set up? So you need to set up Bootstrap Bootstrap icons, another one jQuery. Those files are present in node modules. You can include them. Now what we will do is, so you have to link all Bootstrap files to your HTML page. Let me create one HTML page. I will create a HTML page in public folder. In the public folder, directly I will create a file called new file, some input demo.html. Okay. Only index file I will keep outside, others we will keep in the public folder. Now here we want a simple HTML page, and here I am writing, so input demo. Here I want to use all bootstrap. Then we have to link relation is equal to style sheet. Href is node modules, and in that bootstrap, in that dist css bootstrap.css. This is one we need. Another link relation is style sheet, and href is node modules. And in node modules, we have bootstrap icons. In that font, bootstrap icons.css. Bootstrap icons.css, style sheet spelling right here. Style sheet icons. After that, as per the recommendations of Bootstrap, because Bootstrap currently we are using version 5, which is latest version. Actually, very recently, few days back, they added one more new release. So they made some changes in Bootstrap. Some new features are there, but basic are everything same. Some options they are planning to remove in the next release, deprecated. Some features will not work, but as of now you can try. That is alpha release, so it is not a final release. Up to now is Bootstrap 5, right? Bootstrap 5.3 alpha is there currently, which is alpha, means it will take some more time to get the final version, but they are making some changes for the next version. Currently Bootstrap 5 we are using. So here I will write a class container fluid, Bootstrap classes. And here we are designing a simple heading. I will just give an option like suppose JavaScript form input. Just a heading I am giving. Currently, you can see JavaScript is working. Here, what is working is our Bootstrap is working, but Bootstrap only CSS is currently working. CSS is currently working. To make Bootstrap JavaScript also to work, jQuery, you have to link as per the recommendations of Bootstrap 5. Script files are better to keep in body section. That means Bootstrap is designed in such a way that some functionalities are good in body. That's the reason Bootstrap people officially recommend to keep script in the body. So for Bootstrap script, you keep in body. Other scripts you can keep in your head section, right? That Bootstrap recommends. So you put here script. What is the script source? In node modules. So we need node modules. We need what? Bootstrap. In Bootstrap, we have dist in that JS, bootstrap bundle.js. But actually, this Bootstrap bundle requires jQuery. So make sure that you are linking jQuery first. Node modules. In node modules, you have jQuery in the dist jQuery.js. Currently, Bootstrap needs a support of jQuery. So that is the reason. Make sure that you installed all these. You installed Bootstrap, you installed Bootstrap icons, and you install jQuery. And I hope you already learned general in HTML that when you are linking styles, there is no order dependency. That means first which file you linked, second which file you linked, there is no order for that. But for JavaScript files, there is order. That means JavaScript files order dependency issue will come. That means when you are linking JavaScript files, there must be order. That means first which file, second which file, that matters. Because You declared a variables in one JavaScript file and you are using them in another JavaScript file. You created a class in one JavaScript file. You are using that class in another file. So which file must be first linked? The file where you created class, that must be linked first. The class where you are using it, that must be linked second. If you misplace order, JavaScript cannot work. CSS doesn't have order dependency, but JavaScript have order dependency. So that is the reason it is compulsory that we have to put first jQuery, after that Bootstrap bundle. Now here I am adding, this is the script. Here I am adding a button. In the button, I am defining a simple text as, so register product, something like this. Register product is one simple button I created. Now what should happen here is, for this is the button we have in the UI, this is the button. I want to give a good appearance for this button. Then what I will do is I will put a class btn primary. These are actually Bootstrap classes, and a button looks like this. We are applying a Bootstrap class here, and what we want now is when user clicks this button, a pop-up should come, just like yesterday prompt, but prompt was inbuilt. That prompt will contain only text box, but now we want input from user through various elements, right? He want text box, he want radio, he want checkbox, like that. In that case, then what we will do here, we will design our own prompt. Actually, for that in Bootstrap, we have a component called model. Actually, in Bootstrap, you have a component called model. Model is similar to a prompt, but actually model is similar to a dialog. You have HTML dialogues. In Bootstrap, we use these models, and by using these models, we create our own pop-ups. Because I told you already that many times people ask question like, sir, can I customize the alert? You cannot customize the alert, but you can create your own alert. So can I customize the prompt? You cannot customize the prompt, but you can create your own prompt. Like, you can't customize them because they are related to browser, and browser can define only a certain standard format which cannot be changed. Then you have to manually define. You need to manually configure. So usually developers, what they do is they create their own dialogues, right? And Bootstrap is good in designing them. So let's see how to create a dialog. So what we can do is, under this button, put a div. This div is considered with a class. It is defined with a class model. I hope you learned Bootstrap. Otherwise, I will upload a document related to Bootstrap, go through. Because at JavaScript level, people should know all these. So HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, these are primary requirements to work as a JavaScript developer in real-time front-end developer. They must have good knowledge of Bootstrap. So we have class model. Okay. This model should work like a pop-up. And in a page, there can be so many models. There can be so many pop-ups. So this model will have an ID. We will put an ID like its name is register. Register is ID. Okay. Now inside this model, we have to create a container that contains a class called model dialog. Inside model dialog, we will create another one. This is called as model content. Inside model content, there will be three sections: header, body, and footer. We will create the section. This is using the class model header. In the model header, I will put a heading, register product. Like this, I am using heading. And what we will do here, so if we want, so we can add any particular icon like span, class bi, some cart. Actually, this is icon cart 4 like this. These are icons of Bootstrap. These are the special icons with Bootstrap library. Okay, and I will put a button here. This button will have a class btn close. It's a close button of Bootstrap. So now under this, we will create another. This is what model header. This is body. Under the header, we have a body. And in this body, so we will keep the form. We will create the form. And I will create another section. And this section we will keep as model footer. In the footer, we will just click a button. And this button will have option called register. And there will be another button called cancel. This button will have a class btn success. And here we will have another class btn danger like this. Now, actually, the model that you created, this is your own prompt actually. This is not displayed. You can see it's empty. By default, models are not displayed. They will pop up. When I click on this button, they should pop up. Then what we can do is, for this button, generally Bootstrap uses attribute data bs toggle. Toggle means which component should open. So component is model. And which model should open? The ID. ID is register. Which model should open? So data bs target. These are all Bootstrap things. And which one? Hash register. Register will open. Now what happens here is you just click on this register button. Then this pop-up will come. This is not prompt. This is not alert or confirm. This is our own created. These kind of things usually front-end developers design by using general Bootstrap. And I click on close and cancel, they should work. Then what we have to do is, for this button, close button, we use an attribute data bs dismiss. Dismiss what? Model. On cancel also, we will write same data bs dismiss and model have to dismiss. And for model, I will put another class called fade, so that slowly it will come. You can see now when I click register, then it will slowly pop up. And I click cancel, it will slowly disappear. I can click cancel or I can click on close. I can click on close. This is general. This is no JavaScript at all. This is just your Bootstrap. HTML, CSS, Bootstrap. These will allow you to create such pop-ups. Now here I want to display a form. I need to design a form. So let's create a form here. Let's see. In the body, we will create a simple data list with the data term. And here we are creating, what is it? Suppose product name. Okay. To enter product name, we will give a text box. Input type is equal to text. And it will have an ID. ID is name. I'm giving name as an ID. Okay. Next, another price. Now for price, which input element is good? We can use input type as number because numeric. ID is what? price. Okay, next. Suppose I want to take input of city. And here I will put here. For city, we will give a choice. User can select from a drop down. So we will create a select. Select will have an option like Delhi. Select will have an option like Hyderabad, like this. So it will have an option like Mumbai. All these we are giving. Now, another option, that means one text box I am using, one price I am using, one city, that means number and drop down. For this, I will give an ID. ID is what? City. Okay, next I will create another one. So another data term here, and here user can enter. Suppose I given an option like stock. Stock is a choice. That means is it available or not? User can use a checkbox. Then I am using input type is equal to checkbox. Checkbox. That is checkbox. And here I will give stock available. Available or not, they can select it. That is one checkbox I have defined. Now, suppose as of now, when I click on this, you can see the pop-up will come with these details. We have product name, we have product price, the city, and stock. Later in other examples, we will use radios, other controls also, right? As of now, here I am using text boxes, numbers, some I will use a date picker also. That means another data term, manufactured. Manufactured. How you can put here for this checkbox, we need an ID. What is the ID? Stock. And what is the data manufactured? Input type is equal to date. We will use date. And ID is manufactured. Manufactured is the ID. Now you can see here, these are all the elements in the form. Now I want a good look for these elements also. Then what you can do, you can use here. I can just put a symbol. For text box, we will put a class form control. Form control is the class. For number, I will put a class form control. For select, we have a class called form select. And for checkboxes, we have a class called form check input. And we have a modern look for checkbox. What we can do is we can apply the container with a class form switch. I hope you know these days checkboxes are used like switches, on off like switch. So, and date is also a class called form control. Form control. And you can see now your form looks better. That means you have a product name to enter. You have the product price to enter. We have a city to select. And you have stock available or not. You can use a switch. That is the modern checkbox. Bootstrap will give this kind of look if you use the class called form switch. And here you can see this is the date control. We selected some date. Now what should happen is, this is not prompt. This is our own dialogue, right? We create such dialogues to take input from the user. Here, dialogue is not taking input. Dialogue is just assembling your elements. Actually, we are taking input from where? We are taking input from form elements. Form elements are like text boxes, drop downs, checkbox, date picker, and all. Now, what should happen? When user clicks on register, these details must be displayed there. That means this, when user clicks on register, this window should close. After closing the window, we have to collect the details. Closing the window, we can do just with Bootstrap. When user clicks, it can close. How it can close? Same like close button. Huh? That means here also we will write an option. What is it? Data BS what? Dismiss model. Data BS dismiss model means on register click also, on register click it will close. But I want some extra work to be done. What is that extra work is on click, it have to collect all this data. Okay, collect all this data. Where to display? I want to display in the page. In the page, how to display? Oh, for that we will create. Here, I will create a container. In this container, I am using class. This container have an ID. This is details container. In the details container, we want to display the details. Then I will do one thing. I will create a heading. In that heading, I will say, product details. And in the product details, where you want to display the details. Suppose I want to display the details side by side for the content. You can display, with whatever knowledge you have, you can use tables for displaying. You can use different kind of contents. Here, what I am doing is temporarily, I will use a data list. In the data list data term, here I said name, data definition. Here I want to display the name which is collected. Then for this data definition, we will put an ID, LBL name. That is label name for displaying. Okay, and next one is price. Data definition, we will put ID as LBL price. That means what they entered in text box, we have to collect and we should display inside this label. Right? The same thing I am defining here. Another data term. This is what? City. City data definition ID is LBL city. Another data term stock and data definition ID is LBL stock. Another data term manufactured. Data definition, ID is some LBL MFD manufactured. These are all the details we need to display. We are collecting all these details from the form. And we want to display the details here. And you can see the details will come here. Product details, it is displaying here. Now, for example, what I want to do here, I want to keep side by side. In that case, what I will do is I will put a class row. And for this, I will put a class call for. And in that case, all terms will be 4 columns. Okay. All terms will be 4 columns and all definitions will be column 8, because you know it should be distributed among 12. All definitions I am keeping 8. All definitions. So it is nothing but it will arrange side by side. The information will be arranged side by side. Now, details container. This is details container. But important is this details container should not display now. It should be displayed after user clicks register. By default, I don't want to display this. Then what we can do is we can put a style display as none. So it is not displaying it. So it is hidden. And through JavaScript, we will display it now. Through JavaScript, we are going to display that, right? We will do that. And one more, when details is displayed, I don't want this anymore. Then what I can do, I can select all this. This is details container, and this I will put in another div. And for the div, I will put an ID. For the div, I will put an ID called, this is register container. That means what we will do is we will do simple flip. Details container, when it is shown, register container will be hidden. When register container is hidden, it should be displayed. Details will be displayed like that. Now we are configuring this. You can see now it is there. I click on register. Okay, register product. When I click on this register button, what should happen is on this button click, we need to collect all the data and display in that container. And I need to hide the register container. I need to display that container and hide this one. So what I will do here is when user clicks on register button, when user clicks on register, it is closing. Because in Bootstrap, we return that close. But along with closing, it should collect all the data. Then what we have to do is we have to write a logic for this button. We have to write a logic for this button. Which button logic you need to write for register? Then you have to write an event. What is it? On click. On click, I am using register click. Register click. Okay, now for this, what we will do is we will write the logic. Logic can be written embedded, or you can maintain the logic in a separate file. We will do in a separate file. How? Let's go to folder. Which folder? SRC. In SRC scripts, we will add one more file. And this file name I will give as input demo dot what JS. You can give any name you want. We will give reasonable names because we will not confuse ourselves, right? Which code, which file. So we give the same names. It doesn't matter. You can give a different name also, right? So input demo.js. Okay. Now in this, what is the function? So we have to write a function called what? Register click. On register click, what should happen? On register click, I have to do two things. One, hide the register container and show the details container. First thing that should happen. So what we will do, document dot get element by ID. What is it? Details container. To this details container, we need to apply style. Then dot style. Which style? Style name. Dot display. That is the style. What is the value? Equal to value. Display should be what? None. Display should be what? Block. Block means it is going to display. And what should happen to the register container? It should hide. That means what we will do, document dot get element by ID. Which container? Register container dot style dot display is equal to none. It will hide it. Now what I will do is in the details container, I will give one more option here. In the details container, actually, so you are hiding and showing. So make sure that this model, the model we written, the model is outside and it is accessible to both. It is accessible to details container as well as register. Otherwise, if it is hidden, you can't access again. Right? I will keep this model. That model, whatever we designed, that is the model actually. This model we will keep outside. That model we will keep outside here so that it can be used for both details container as well as register. Now what I will do is in this details container at the bottom, I am adding a button with a span class bi pen. So bi pen, okay. And here I will put a text called edit. And class btn and btn I will give as some warning like this. You can see what is the point. I click on register. A pop-up will come. I will enter all the details I want. After entering the details, I am choosing all the details. After that, still we haven't written all the logic, just we are flipping the container. Click on register. So when we click on register, what will happen? This will close and automatically details container should display, right? It's not working because we haven't linked the JavaScript file. What we have to do to input demo, we need to link. So in the script, what is the file to link? Script source. It is coming from src. In src what scripts? Which one? Input demo.js. Input demo.js. That is what the file we need. Okay. Now I click on register product. I enter the details and click on register. It will display. That means it is hiding the register container and it is showing details container. Now when I click on edit, that register should open again. I click on edit, that should open again. Then for this edit, what you do? For this edit, the model should pop up again. Then what we have to do on this button, we will write, what is it? Data BS toggle. Toggle is model. Data BS target. Target is hash register. That means it will open on that edit. That means you see register product. You entered some product details. You are entering the product details. After entering the product details, you selected some details and click on register. When you click on register, it will show. Still, we are not displaying those details. Now you click on edit. When you click on edit, the form will open again. The form will open here again. Here first thing, here lot of work is there. I will show you that. Actually, first time this button name is register. When they click edit, it should change to save. It should not be register again. It should change to save. And those changes must be updated there. That is the logic we need to implement actually. So when I click on this edit, it should open that edit mode. Edit. And this button should change. That should change to save. First time it is showing as register. Second time it will be save. Right? Then how do you manage? We'll do that. First thing, when user clicks edit, I need to change this button to save. We will do that. But first work, what we have to do, when user click register, enters the details, we need to collect those details and display register. We need to collect the details and display the details here now. That means where to display the details in these data labels. In that label, we have to display. So write the logic. It's very simple logic here. So in the register click, up to text box, number, drop down, and date, it is normal. But checkbox additional, because checkbox we need to verify is it checked or not. If checked one, logic is required little. Others are simple. So others are very simple. First, what I have to do, collect the value from name text box and display inside name label. How to collect name label? Document, get element by ID, LBL name. It is a label in that inner HTML. What to display inside it? What to display inside? The value coming from text box, name text box. How to collect name text box? Document dot get element by ID. What is it? Name. Name dot what? Value. Because it is a text box, we have to just use value. It's name dot value. Okay. It's a text box. We have to just use value. Similarly, others, document get element by id, lbl price. LBL price inner HTML, document get element by ID, price, price dot what value, price dot value. Now you need to do the same thing. Document get element by ID, LBL city, LBL city inner HTML, document dot get element by ID. What is it? City. City is a drop down. City dot value. City is a drop down. We are collecting the drop down value. Next, document get element by ID, LBL MFD manufactured dot inner HTML, document get element by ID. Element by ID is manufactured, manufactured dot value. Even date value also simply access. Later you will learn how to manipulate dates. For that you need to learn variables, data types and all. Usually this is collecting the data. Okay. Up to this, everything is okay. But stock is different because stock is a checkbox. We need to verify, is it checkbox checked or not? If checked, we will put stock as available. Otherwise, we will put stock as out of stock. Then what we will do is we will put a variable stock status. Stock status is initially empty, nothing is there. Now we need to collect stock checkbox. How to collect stock checkbox? Document dot get element by ID. What it is? Stock. It is stock checkbox. I need to verify, is the stock checkbox selected? How to verify it is selected? We will write a simple if stock checkbox is equal to checked. Stock checkbox dot checked. That's it. Dot checked means it is selected. If stock checkbox is checked, it is selected, it will return true. Then what should be stock status? Stock status. Stock status must be, we should display stock status as what? Available. Available. Otherwise, else what should be stock status? Stock status as I will put as out of stock. Out of stock. Now where to display this stock status? I need to display that stock status in another label. Document dot get element by ID. There is a label called LBL stock inner HTML. In that, stock status must be displayed. That's only the extra work. Others are simple. Just collect the value and display in label. But this is little long because here you need a checkbox to deal with. And checkbox we need to verify, is it checked or not? If checked, do this thing. Now see, now you can see here, I click register product. I am entering product name Samsung TV, some price 45, city is Hyderabad, stock is available, and manufactured, I selected some date. I click on register. Those details must be collected and shown here. That means whatever details you entered, they are collected and those details are displayed here. That means the name, the price. How to change the format of date, you will learn later. That means when you are displaying date format, we can change the format of date. That means month, day, month, year. For that, you need to learn date manipulations. As of now, it is just displaying the details. Now, when I click edit button, what should happen? When I click on edit button, these details will open in edit mode. Here I turn off this, and here it should not be register anymore. It should be displayed as what? Save. Save. It should be displayed as save. Then how do we do that? As of now, register working. It says out of stock. Register is working. Just we need to change its button name. Button name. That means here I click on edit and I am changing here some Nike casuals and some price is some price 6,000 and click on registered. Then these are changing. but it should not be register. So what we have to do, on edit button click, we have to collect a button which is present in model. That means this button should have an ID, right? So then how to access the button inside model? Let's go to the design. Here, where is that button in the model? This is the button in the model. This is model button. For this button, we will give an ID as, so btn model model register, something like this. This is btn model register button. Okay, now what we have to do, on edit click, on this edit button click, we have to write on click. On click, what is the function? Edit click. Edit click. On edit click, this button should be collected and its value should be changed. That button value should be changed to what? Save. Currently the button, actually this is a HTML5 button. So this is not considered as value. It is considered as inner HTML. It is considered as inner HTML. It is not considered as value. If it is a HTML4 button, then you have input type button and that button will have a value. This is a HTML5 button. So it's like a div. You have to put inner HTML. So we have to write logic here. One more function we have to write. This is for which click? Register click. We have to write another function. What is the function? Edit click. On edit click, we have to just collect document get element by ID btn model register. In that inner HTML, we need to just display save. We can just display save. If you want, you can change its colors, change its classes, effects also. For example, if you want, you can change its color, class, and everything. So, for example, as of now, you see, and I am entering these details. So Nike casuals, some stock, some manufactured, and all this. I click on register. When I click on register, and you can see that comes in this way. I click on edit. This time it will be save. It will be save. I am changing the city. I am changing the stock and click on save. Then it will be updated there, Delhi and out of stock. So it is showing that edit. It is showing that edit. And you can see on edit what it is doing. It is going to show those details. I can enable that and click on save. It will be there. If you want, you can change the colors also. Colors, effects for that button. Just you need to apply a class name dynamically. You have to apply a class name dynamically, then you can manage. So that means now what you have to do here, you need to apply the class name dynamically. So what? Document get element by ID. What is it? btn model register. I am using so many times, so better create one reference. As of now, it's okay. Dot class name. We have to define class name. What is the class name? btn. I will give as btn and another class name. So this is btn info. Like this I am giving. btn info, different name. That means now you see what happens. I click on register. I entered the details and I am selecting the details and register. And I click on edit. Its icon will be changed. So here we are not using any, what is it? btn. Yeah, spelling wrong. Fine. And I click on register, enter the details and stock. Select any date here and register and click on edit. Its icon will be changed. Same means colors, anything. We can dynamically manage that. We can dynamically change. This is input using a form, but we are not using a prompt. because in a prompt you cannot have such forms. This is our own prompt like dialogues that generally people do that by creating and configuring using what? Bootstrap. By using Bootstrap, we create such dialogues and we handle these dialogues. Now I click on save, then it is closed. Suppose I want another new product. If I want another new product, just simple what you can do here is in the edit option, I'm just keeping another, so anchor here. And anchor, I will say new product. But this anchor should look like button. And href is, it is going to go to which page? It is going to go to input demo.html, same page. But it should look like button. So what we will do? So we will use a class btn, and btn, suppose I given as some primary, like this I given. And you can see now, so you can see here, I click on register, I entered some details. After entering the details, and I click on register button, those details are there. And see, this is looking like a button, but this link. I will click on edit, then edit mode will open. I can do modifications in the product that I created. If I click on new product, then it will get a new form again. Then again, register product, again, new details. We need to configure new details and we need to define new details. Right? You click on cancel, it is cancelled. So you click register product, enter some details. Remember, cancel is working everywhere same. I selected these details and click on register, and those details are stored. After that, I opened edit. I don't want to make any changes. Then click on cancel. It is normal. Right? So I click on edit and I done some modification and save, and it is now out of stock. And I click on new product. That means it is going to display the new product. That's how we can manage input, how we can design and handle the input. So this is a basic concept of configuring and defining input. So you have to link all Bootstrap files to your page. Then I will give one example here. What is the example is, we have to first create a page. This is what input with the model in Bootstrap. Right? This is model is just like your custom dialog box in Bootstrap. So you see now, here I am adding, first one is, we will write the page index dot, this is what? Input demo dot html. This is all the HTML code. Let me copy this. This is all HTML code, and we have input demo dot what? JS. This is the JavaScript code. So this is the JavaScript code. We return this JavaScript in a separate function. So here, what is the main concept? Collect the data from the form and present the data. So you can collect data from query string. You can collect data from prompt. You can collect data from a form. Right? Now, so I will give one task you try to do. You try to design that. And any task that you have done, you try to upload. From tomorrow, I will give another Google Classroom code. So demos will be finished there. So our regular classroom code I will give, where you can submit your exercises and all. That means whatever exercises we are learning, So practically what you are doing, everything you can post there. I will give that tomorrow. I will give you that link. Up to today, I will upload this in the previous classroom code only. So I will give one task you try, right? And the task is, what you have to do is, for examples, basic I will give here. Suppose we have some Inox movies page. In this Inox movies page, you see, you try to create this toolbar. That means select a movie, select cinema. As of now, dependency is not required because we haven't learned any language. Just input I want. That means put two movies here. You put two movies related information. Two are enough, right? Two movies related information. User can select a movie. After that, put two cinemas, any two cinemas. User can select a cinema. User can select a cinema. After that, user can select a date. After that, user can select timing. After that, user can select seats. That means all input is done by using what? Drop downs. There are no other inputs. Earlier, our input have a lot of things. We have text box, we have check box and all. Here they have only drop down. And when user clicks the book button, the details should come. That means what are the products they have selected, those details should come. And I just want the details like this. I just want the details like this to display. In that, edit is nothing but modify booking. Understood? Edit is nothing but modify booking. When I say modify booking, edit screen will open. Again, they can change the selection. And even if you want, that means it should show the details of what you selected. And very important is the image also can display. We can display the image according to which movie they selected. So this is a simple input, right? Based on movie. They are not uploading image here. They are just selecting a movie. According to movie, image will come. Right? This is a basic input. For example, see, design I will give, you try the logic behind this. Right? For example, same logic, what you have learned now, same. Keep a dialog here. Suppose I will give another page. In public, I am adding some inox.html. Now let's create this here. I will add here inox. So inox movies. Okay. Let's link relation is style sheet. href is equal to node modules. In node modules, we have bootstrap dist css bootstrap.css. I don't want to use any icons. If you want, you can keep icons also. So link relation is equal to style sheet and href is so node modules. So node modules in that bootstrap icons, font icons, css. And here, it's not necessary to create a pop-up. You can directly put that information, or you want, you can create a pop-up, right? So suppose I said a button here. So button is, so here I will say book ticket. So book ticket. So, and for this, I will just keep a class btn and btn danger. And you can see there is a design here. Yeah. There is a book ticket. So suppose I put a heading. So inox movies. Okay. And here I will keep a class container fluid. And I need some scripts also to be linked here. So script source is what? In node modules, we have jQuery dist jQuery.js. Another script we want here in that node modules, we have bootstrap in that dist js bundle.js. Now here we will create a simple pop-up here. So a div, and in the div I will put a class as what? Model. In this model I will just keep a div. So the class as model header. In model header I will just keep a button class btn close. And the data bs dismiss is equal to model. Okay. And this model have an id is as movies. Okay. And after the header I will just keep a div and this class as model body. And in the model body I am creating a simple div. I'll put a class dflex. This is display flex. It have one drop down, and this drop down will have a option. Option is select movie. And you can give the options here. So say Top Gun, suppose Maverick. Okay, like this I define. And another option like some Pathan, like this. Okay, like this. And another option I defined some Pathan, some Hindi, like this. And this is actually select movie. I will copy in another div, and actually this will have a class form control. Okay, form select. It will have a form select. Design your wish. So this is also having form select. But here it is select cinema. Suppose here I defined some options like some, so Inox some GVK. Okay. And here I defined suppose some Inox like suppose so Amir Pate, like this. Like this we defined, and here this is one. Okay, copy this. And we have another one. So here we have select date. So here I just given here as today. Today is suppose 03. So 8 I given March like this. And suppose I am giving here something like so tomorrow. So that is 09 March, like this I define. Now we have another one. Another one is another div. This is select data. This is Here I will define as select time. So this is like suppose some 10:30 a.m. and here I define another time. Suppose some 5:30 p.m. something like this I define. And one more option here I have to define select seats. Here I define just option have one, option have two, like that you can add any number. I'm giving another option. So here I will define as book. Now the class btn and btn danger. Like this I define. And here we have deflex and justify content between. Right, that is what I am given, justify content so around. Okay. Now you can see this should open on button click. That means data bs what? Target, hash what? Movies, and data bs toggle. Data bs toggle is model. That means let's run this on book ticket. It should pop up like this. it should pop up like this. So on close, I will give one option here. So that means what I will do is actually database dismiss is equal to what? Model. So this is a database dismiss model is there. Yeah. And here we will do one more work. I will give actually model is not complete. We have a model dialog, a directly given model header. But actually it should be what? This is all header. Yeah. Yeah. We have to create dialog as class as model dialog first. Otherwise, they will not open close properly. So we need to put class model content. In the content, we need all this. Right? We need all this. And what we will do here, I will give model dialog. So we have model dialog centered. Centered means on screen center it will come. The book ticket, it will come like this. You can adjust the width according to your requirement. You can adjust the width, right? So you can even keep model dialog. So full screen. Actually, we have model, an option called model full screen. Full screen is given in model. Yeah. Here I am adding model full screen. Full screen style also there. Model full screen means it will display like this. So that means it will occupy large screen. Where is this one? Yeah. Model content, model dialog. Yeah. Model what? Full screen. This is dialog full screen displaying is there. You can see like this now. That means it will show full screen. And I click on close, it will be normal. I click on book ticket, it will be full screen. So in this header, we don't have any content else. Actually, it will be like some heading and say book ticket. Usually when I click on that, it will display like this. User selects a movie, user selects a cinema, user selects a date, user selects a time, user selects seats and click on book. Only one extra work you have to do on this book click, collect the data and display below. Understood? That is only the extra work you have to do. And one more extra is there here. If they select Top Gun Maverick, then that poster should come. If they selected this one, that poster should come. That means just you need to put a picture and picture source should be changing. Picture source should be changing. Dynamically, it should be changing. That means .src. You have to apply a source. If movie name is Top Gun, then image source, Top Gun JPG. Right? Otherwise, image source, some other. This you must try. You must able to do. Design I already given. Design I already given. I will copy this design. This is the task for you. Okay. Now, this design functionality you have to implement. So if you can do this, that's good. This is just only JavaScript input concept. How JavaScript manages input and output. Now we will go into JavaScript language, which is important. Language is variables, data types, operators, statements, functions. Now we will be strong in language. We can do more such designs effectively and easily. We can put validations. We can put a lot of other manipulations. Right? If user is not filling some details, we will say invalid. Please fill up. Such things to do. For that, we need to start language now. We will start working with JavaScript language. Variables, data types, operators and all. So first you try this example. If you can try this, that's very good. Now what I will do is in tomorrow's session, I will check once what you have done, right? And if you have done that successfully, that's okay. Otherwise, I will help you. I will show you how to implement that functionality. Okay. Tomorrow we'll continue then. Tomorrow we will discuss about the language. These examples I will upload into Classroom. You can go through from there. Okay. Right. Yeah. Yes, Suraj. What is your doubt?
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Sir, actually, I was asking, I am having basic idea on HTML and CSS, but I am not that much clear on Bootstrap and jQuery. So,
Uh,
if you can share some
here,
notes.
here I will give an introduction of jQuery, but Bootstrap you have to learn.
Okay, sir. So, is there any notes or material?
So you can visit Get Bootstrap official website. That is very simple and easy.
Okay, okay, sir. And some one.
Getbootstrap.com. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, I
Sir,
will upload one document. You go through it.
sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah.
That will be helpful. No?
Right.
And sir, one more thing. While you are typing, so many suggestions are coming, but in my case, it is
I
not.
already asked you to install a plugin called IntelliSense. If you
IntelliSense.
haven't installed that IntelliSense plugin in Visual Studio Code, you will not get help. I am getting help because I